Let us take a look at JavaScript. Okay, so here we are going to start working with JavaScript, real JavaScript. Okay, so we are going to learn how to use the variables. Okay, that is what we are going to be learning specifically in this tutorial. Okay, so as we know that JavaScript often shortened as JS is a programming language used to add interactivity to web pages. It can respond to clicks, update content without reloading. Okay, also validate forms, create animations, and even talk to servers to get or send data. Okay, so in order to send data, then you are working there. You are working with. You can be working with the back end when you want to send the data to front end, or when you are working on the front end and you want to send data to the back end, which is the server. Okay, which is running the back end. Okay, so here in the previous part, I showed you how you can the ways of running JavaScript. And if you hear this one, these tutorials are going to be specifically for web developers. But if you want to be a JavaScript developer, we want to learn the syntax of JavaScript, you should also follow this tutorial. Okay, so this one here we are going to be using the HTML. Okay, the HTML, but here we are going to be running JavaScript in the web browser. Okay, so if you have Node.js installed, you can also run JavaScript there. Okay, I showed you how you can run JavaScript there. Okay, so here we are going to be working with our file. Here I'm going to create here in the current directory. Here, as you can see, we have the current directory here. I'm going to create a new file here. I want to make it simple even for those ones who are using Node.js. Okay, so here we can create our file index.js. Okay, index.js, we have it right there. So we are good. Let us go here and we include. So for those who are using Node.js, please don't follow this one. Okay, let me first decrease. Okay, so here we can include using the src, so we can include our JS there, our JS file. Okay, so we are going to be using this JS file. Remember, the code that we are going to be using here in the index.js file, we can just if we don't want to use this file, if we want to delete this file, we can just copy all that code inside this file that we are going to use, and then put it in between these script tags. Okay, these script tags. Okay, that's how we can also work with it, but I'm not going to use that way. I'm going to be working inside this JS file, in order to make our code simple and readable. Okay, so that is it. Now we have included our JS file. Let us save it. So now here I'm having a web browser. Okay, here I'm going to be seeing everything that I'm doing in the web browser. Okay, so here we are going to be working in the console and even in the console. Okay, so in the console here we are going to just go down here and we search for more tools. Then we search for developer options, or we can press Ctrl Shift and even L. So here we can now run with it. console.log hi viewers. So here we get it. So here we are going to be working with it like this. Okay, so let us test here. I'm going to show you the best way. So let me first say console.log. Remember, I'm using VS Code as the code editor. We save. So if I save hello, so I'm getting hello here, as you can see. So that is it. And if you are using Node.js, you are going to be doing the same thing like this. Okay, so here we are going to be having, let me demonstrate with Node.js. So cmd. Let me navigate to where my file is. It is on the desktop directory. So we have the directories. I have a lot of directories. So here we have start. So cd start. We are there, directories. Then our file is here, right here. Yeah? right here, index.js, it is right here. So how to run it? We are going to call node, then our file index. Every time you make a change in your file, okay, in your index.js file, okay. For you are not going to be working with index.js. For those who are using Node.js, if you want to use Node.js, I have a link. It is there in the description of how you can install Node.js on your computer, okay. So here we have node index.js and our file. So if we do this, we are going to get hello. We get the same output, as you can see, okay. We get the same output, okay. So for you every time you make a change, you need to run this command node. If you have installed Node.js and you have set it properly, you can run node then index. So to see if you have node, you can just press node, okay, and here you will see, okay, you will see this one, the welcome message here, and it will show you the version. I'm using 22.16.0 something, I don't know. So that's how you can use it. So let us see how we can work with variables, okay. So let us see how we can work with variables. So variables are a variable, okay. A variable is like a container or a box where you can store information like numbers, text, or even more complex data. Think of it as giving a name to a value, to a value, so you can reuse it later in your code, okay. So how to declare? Let us see how you can declare a variable in JavaScript. Okay, so to declare a variable, there are many ways. Okay, so we use the var. So that var is the old way of declaring a variable in JavaScript, but it still works. But it has some issues with the scope. So modern JavaScript uses what we call the let and the const. More often, okay. So here we use the var, then we provide the name, okay, name, then we provide the data that we want to store, okay, the data. So here we are going to store a string which is a text data. So here we are going to store Rashid like that, okay. So if we store it like that, if we do that, okay, so if we do that and we do it in name, then we console.log. This one, console.log, this one we use it to print a message, okay. Console.log, it is a function. Then this one, it is like a method. This one, the what? It is a method that we use. As you can see here, it is a method that we use. So here, console.log, then we want to log out our name, okay. This name. Oh, why is it that there is a mark? Let me do this, okay. So here we are getting Rashid, as you can see, we are getting Rashid, but this one is not allowing me to do this. Let me do it in this way, okay. VS Code has some extensions that don't allow me to do that. Let me do it in this way, okay. So when I do it in this way, then here inside here, I just press these ones. They are like they are like single quotes, single quotes, but they are not single quotes. They are not like these ones. These ones, they are. You should look for this sign here, this one on your keyboard, okay, and you use it. Use this one, okay. So here I can press even inside here I can put my variable, okay, there, and if I save. Here you can see we get the same output, okay. But I'll be working with the other easiest way, which is there, Control Z, like that. You don't mind about that cross here, that line, they're crossing there. So that is it. Here I'm getting the output, which is Rashid, okay. So after there, let me show you another way, which is the let, which is a modern way to declare variables when the value might change later, okay. So here the value might change later, okay. So but the most used modern way is the use of let. So let us use let name2 to be equals to Shafiq like that, okay. So let us now console.log want console.log name2. Okay, so as you can see here, because this is a modern way, we are not seeing this cross, this line, okay, because it is a modern way. Okay, so this one, as you can see, when we hover over it, you can see that name is duplicated. Okay, it is duplicated, this one. The declaration was marked as duplicated here. So this one, it is no longer used. It has some problems with the scope, so it is no longer being used. Okay, so I encourage you to use let instead of var. Okay, so let us delete this one, but you can also use it, but let us use that one. Let us stick with the let. So if the value might change, or if this name, if we come here and we change name2 to be equals to what, to Rashid, like that, then we can also use this one. Then this one is no longer the name2, it is no longer Shafiq, it is now Rashid. Okay, so and if we try to print, so here, so if we try to print name2, we are getting Rashid, as you can see here. Okay, so but if we remove there and we save, we are getting Shafiq, as you can see. And if I oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm really sorry. If I do something like this, there's another way. So that's the way if we want to declare a variable that is going to change. Okay, this is how we declare it. That's how we do it. Okay, so you can also do this. So let edge, and you do that. Okay, and here you come here and assign. This is called initialization. You initialize, but you don't set the value. Okay, so this is this one, and then you come down here and you assign the value. So here we assign that value. Okay, like that. Like that. You can put these ones, or you can do this. You can do this. That one is also possible. Okay, you can also do it. Okay, but if you want something like this, if you want to do something like this, like your code to be there on this one, it will not work unless you put that one, that this line, this code has ended, this line of code has ended, and then you put another code here. If you want to make obfuscated JavaScript, for those who want to enjoy cyber security, okay, you can write obfuscated JavaScript like that, like that. Okay, so let me use this way. Let me use this way, as you have got the difference, the difference of using semicolons or not using semicolons. Okay, that's it. So let us try to see another way of how you can declare variables. So another way to declare variables is the use of the const. Okay, and the const is used for variables that should not change. Okay, once you set a value, it stays the same. Okay, so this is how you can do it. This is how we can do it. So you use the const keyword. That's the keyword. That's the JavaScript keyword. Okay, the const. Then you say that my country. The country, which country are you in? Guys, which country am I? Which country am I from? From USA, like that. So if we do this, and we print, we console.log our country, console.log our country, like that. Country, like that. So, no, I'm doing it false way. Country, like that. So here I'm going to get the country, which is USA, and even the name too, which is Shafiq. Okay, so and we can do this. As you can see, this one it is bolded. Okay, so this one it is in bolded form. Okay, this one compared to this one where we use the let. Okay, so this one because it cannot change, it is constant. They bold it that this one it is unchangeable. You cannot change it. So let us try to change it here. When we do const country, let's make it also constant. So if we do that, because we have nice VS Code extensions, they are going to alert us that this one what we are doing is going to generate an error. So we encourage you not to do it. So and if I force it and I declare it as an empty string here like this, and I save, as you can see here, I'm going to get an error. So here there is no issues, complaint and error, but nothing has returned. As you can see, nothing has returned. Guys, nothing has returned. So this one, if you want to create a variable that does not change, the best way to declare that variable is to use the const keyword. Okay, that's a nice way. That's a nice way. But if you want to create a variable that always changes, you should use the let, not the var. Okay, because var is now deprecated. Okay, you should use the const. Okay, so that's how we can use it. That's how you can use it. That's how you can work with variables. That's how you can work with variables, my guys. That's how you can work with variables in JavaScript.